In this video, I'm revealing my secret to making over $3,000 in profit by flipping 4 thrift store flips using just one kit. Watch as I walk through each makeover step by step, showing you how easy it is and rewarding it can be to create beautiful furniture that sells super fast. Come on along. The very first time I tried this technique, I used it on an old Stanley dresser that I picked up from a thrift store. I normally pay around $50 to $80 for my dressers, and this one was no exception. It was $80. It was in great condition, so I'm just gonna get it prepped and ready for its brand new look. You guys won't believe what this one sold for in the end, so stay tuned. After I got this dresser prepped and removed all of the hardware, then I just started scuff sanding it with my orbital sander and a 180 grit sanding pad on the top. Each one of these projects has its own individual video if you're interested in more details about how I do every single step. Today we're just going to do an overview so I can show you exactly how I did this and exactly how I made so much money in just a few pieces. Now that I have the entire piece scuff sanded, I'm going to wipe down all of my sanding dust so I can start painting. This dresser is dark like you can see, so I'm definitely going to need to prime it. I plan on using a lighter colored paint for this flip, and I don't want any of those tannins from the wood underneath to seep through my paint. Most of this dresser today is laminate. It doesn't even have a solid wood top. If it did, I wouldn't have to use this technique, but the thing I love about what I'm about to show you is that you can easily use this on laminate furniture and make it look top dollar. I'm pouring my primer into my gravity-fed HVLP sprayer, and off we go. I gave this dresser 2 coats of primer before I went to my next step. I've chosen the color Sunday Tea by Country Chic paint for this project. I'm going to load this up into my gravity-fed sprayer as well. This is like a beigey off-white color, so not quite white, but it's going to be perfect for what I have in mind for this project. This paint is a little thick for my sprayer, so I did add just a little bit of water to help it go through. Once I've got this loaded up, I applied 2 coats for full coverage. I always tell people if you're new to DIY and you don't have a compressor to use one of these HVLP sprayers with, there are other options that you can pick up. I've got them linked in my description below to check out, and you can always use a paintbrush or a roller. I just use the sprayer to help me save time because I flip so much furniture, but there are plenty of other options, so don't be discouraged by this if you're a newbie. Okay, now here is the part that everybody loves. I picked up this Retique It kit off of Amazon. I'm going to use this same kit over and over again for all of the projects that you're going to see. So I have only purchased this one time, and yet this trend is so hot right now that I continuously make so much money on my flips just because of this one thing that I am doing. So you definitely want to take note. It is amazing how much this has upped my furniture game this summer. So the Retique It primer that you just saw me put on has wood fibers in it. So when you brush that lighter color on, it actually looks like it is wood on the top, which is nice. So you'll apply it in the direction of the wood grain and then just take this stain, which is much lighter, and brush it along the top. Once I have my stain on, I'm going to take these graining tools and then I'll run it along the section that I have applied the stain to. I can try as many different patterns as I like. It took me a little bit to get the hang of this, and I will show some of my mistakes along the way as well. So anytime that I didn't like the line that I made, I just grabbed my rag and wiped it back, applied another layer of this stain, and just tried again. It is so user-friendly that it takes no time to get this down. I've done this on so many projects now that I feel like I've really gotten the hang of it, but it took me a little bit, so don't be intimidated by that. Even I screwed up plenty of times. But as soon as I found the graining tool that I liked and the technique that I liked, I feel like I've nailed it now, and it is definitely taking my furniture flips to the next level. Once I've got the graining tool look exactly how I want it, I'm taking the stain and applying just a light cover over the top. I'll wipe it back with a rag. You have to make sure that the design on the top is totally dry before you do this, so I did let it dry overnight, and it just helps to kind of tone down those sharper images of that wood graining tool and make it look like it really is wood. You don't have to do this step. If you totally love the design that you made on the top, you can leave it as is, but I just feel like that extra stain layer helps sell this wood look. I'm finishing off the top of this dresser with Retique It's water-based epoxy top coat. I'm going to apply this with a top coat sponge. This top coat is low VOC and it dries in about 4 hours. It's really resistant to heavy traffic, so this will make sure that this beautiful top will last for years to come. One last look at this before. I crunched the numbers on this guy. I picked this dresser up for $75. I spent $25 on the feet and $80 on the Retique It kit. It sold for $950, so this was a $770 profit on my first dresser. I'm going to walk you through 4 of these fabulous flips, each with their own profit breakdown, and at the end, I'd love if you tell me which one was your favorite. Next up is this little dresser that I picked up at a garage sale for 50 bucks. This one needed a lot of help. Woo! I have got to put a pin in this. I have got plans tonight and it's time to start getting ready. If you've been with me for a long time, you know that I'm pretty frugal, but I have like this deep desire to have a signature scent that is not the garage. And it's pretty perfect timing that I have a super fancy dinner on the calendar tonight, and smelling like my garage is not on my to-do list. But neither is running to the store and buying a full-size bottle of designer perfume that may not smell the best on me when I get home and use it for a while. Have you ever had that happen to you? Because I have. So that is where Scentbird comes in. So Scentbird is a fragrance subscription program that allows you to try 1 or more designer perfumes a month for around $17. You're going to get a 30-day supply of each fragrance, giving you plenty of time to fully experience the scent, which is the perfect way to find your signature fragrance. There's over 600 designer perfumes and colognes from brands like Prada, Versace, and also more niche labels like Retique and Roja. Those are the ones I usually gravitate for. I like the ones that not everybody knows about. Okay, so let me show you the ones that I chose. So I chose these scents by completing a scent quiz, and the cool thing about this is that you can take this quiz as the seasons change, so you can go more bold with your scents or light and airy based on the seasons if you want to. So I went really date night-esque with my scent, and here is the first one that I chose. They come in these adorable magnetic containers, which are perfect for putting in your purse or your pocket. You take it out and there it is. So cute. Look at that size. It's perfect. And today I am trying Bon Bon by the House of Beau. It has a top note of lychee. And this one is listed as a top scent for date night, which is perfect. This one. It's so good, you guys. This is magical. The next one I chose, and I have a hard time choosing between which one of these is my favorite. This one is Pistol Whip by Retique. I love Heretique's perfumes, and this one does not disappoint. My daughter is already trying to steal this one. Don't tell her, but I actually got her a subscription to Scentbird for her birthday, so she can stay out of my stash, or else this is going to go missing really quick. This guy has a top note of pink pepper and gardenia. The gardenia in this is absolutely amazing. So if you want to get into all of this, and it is so much fun, click the link or scan this QR code.
You can use my code LEMONS for 55% off your first month at Scentbird. Like, go, go, go. Literally, it is $8 for your first month. You get free delivery to your door and these adorable free cases for easy carrying. Thank you, Scentbird. I now have the perfect scent for every season without breaking the bank. This is the coolest way to find your signature scent.
This dresser is one of my favorites because it is the perfect example of what you can do with really dated pieces. A lot of these end up in the landfill because people just don't know what to do with them, and that's totally fair. It's a little tricky to look at them and try to figure it out. But this one has really great bones structurally. It's not made out of the best materials, but it still can turn into something that is beautiful and functional for your house and will totally be on trend. So let's get this guy cleaned up. There's some minimal fixing along the bottom that I needed to do, but now that that is dry, I'm taking my orbital sander and giving everything a really good scuff sand. You definitely want to do this before you paint a piece. It just makes sure that your paint will adhere nicely. This is another laminate top that definitely needs some refreshing. So I'm giving it a very light scuff sand and you're gonna see this turn into real wood, well, faux real wood before your very eyes. I'm taking that Retique It primer in the light color. This is the exact same kit that I used before, and I will link the kit that I have down in the description below if you're liking the colors that I'm using today. But like I said before, this has natural wood fibers built into it, so you're going to brush it in the direction that natural wood would travel. Since I don't have any on the top of this, I just have to fake it till I make it with this one. But it ends up looking really great, and you just want to keep in mind that you want to brush this in the direction that wood fibers would naturally go if you're not working with any.
I chose a dark black caviar color for the body of the dresser. That way it would really elevate and bring out the wood grain on the top. Now that my paint is dry, it's time to add that faux wood finish to the top. After that first pass, I knew it was way too dark, so I wiped back the glaze that I put on the top and tried one more time. Look at how forgiving this finish is. I literally just kept doing it until I got the exact green pattern that I was looking for. I decided to follow this pattern and do the exact same thing on the details of the drawer fronts. One last look back at this dated dresser from the garage sale. The price breakdown on this is $50 for the furniture, $12 for the handles. I ended up selling this one for $550, leaving me with a $488 profit.
This one was a fan favorite, so at the end you're gonna have to tell me which one you all liked best. This next one is a Dixie Dresser that was given to me by a really good friend. She requested that we do an upgrade for her daughter. Her daughter loves the new boho style, and I knew that I could make this into something special. This dresser had already seen 2 or 3 flips in its lifetime, so I was just trying to work with the bones that I had to give her something new and fantastic for her bedroom. And again, I'm working with a laminate top, so it is the perfect piece to do this awesome transformation to. Once I got everything nice and clean, I grabbed my sander and a 180 grit sanding pad to make sure that my paint was going to adhere. I also needed to smooth down the previous paint job that was applied to this one. Since I had a few different textures on this one, I got out my stain blocking primer just to ensure that nothing was going to bleed through the paint job. This dresser is being made over for a teenager and she wanted a really bold color, so I was so thrilled to do this one. I don't get to use bold colors very often. She chose a burnt sienna color from Lily Moon Paint. I got this loaded up into my gravity-fed HVLP sprayer and applied 2 coats for full coverage. Now I've got my Retique It primer in the light color again. I'm going to put 1 coat of this on the top. That's all I'll need. And again, it needs to go in the direction that the natural wood grain would go in to just master this look. It really does allow you to get that real wood finish look without having to sand down your entire piece, which is going to save you so much time. For this project, I'm using the weathered wood colored stain for this top. I'll apply it with my Retique It brush, and then I'm going to use a different wood graining tool on this so you can see the different looks that you can make. I'm using the pickled oak stain on top of this to help even out some of those gray tones. It just helps blend with that burnt sienna paint color that she chose for the body of the dresser. And again, I am making sure I'm doing this when the graining technique on the top has been completely dry. I'll put on just a little bit of this top stain and then wipe it back. The paint color that she chose also needed to be sealed, so I loaded the poly into my gravity-fed HVLP sprayer and gave everything 3 good coats of polyurethane. I absolutely love the makeover on this dresser. It definitely breathes some new life into it so she can enjoy it in her room for many more years to come. And it matched perfectly with her bedroom theme. I can't wait to show you what this looks like against her bedroom wall. So the breakdown on this one is a little trickier because I did it for a friend. I did buy these knobs and they cost $32, $2 a piece. There are 16 of them, so that was the biggest investment that there was. The paint I already had on hand, as well as I'm using the exact same Retique It kit from the beginning. Normally I would sell this dresser for $600. I have no problem selling these for $600 in my market, and it would have given me a profit of $568. But because this was such a fun flip, I agreed to do this for her for free, just so I could make a YouTube video out of it.
For my fourth and final flip, I'm heading back into the thrift store to see if I can find some nightstands that are on sale. And lo and behold, I found these guys stashed in the back. I paid $80 total, so $40 a piece. Let's get flipping. And just like the other projects I've shown you, these are not solid wood. They had some substantial damage done to the top of them, but with the Retique It trick that I'm about to show you on these guys, you're going to see why this was one of my very top sellers. I'm using a 180 grit sanding pad on my orbital sander just to take down some of this uneven finish on the top before we start. When I took off some of the water damage, I exposed the particle board underneath, so I'm using some Zinsser clear shellac just to lock in all these different finishes and to make sure that this particle board does not absorb any of the paint and swell. I chose that dark caviar black for the body of these nightstands again. Black is most definitely one of my top sellers in my Dallas furniture market right now. And I personally think it just helps this wood technique on the top just pop when you list them for sale. This will be the fourth and final flip that I'm able to get out of this one can of Retique It primer. I can't believe how far this one kit has stretched, and I think you'll all agree that the profit I've made from these flips was well worth it. I have about 5 or 6 different graining tools. I like them each for different things, so I'm going to get them all out and see what I like best on these nightstands. I'm also going to be using the pickled oak primer on the top of these. Once the primer is dry, I'll apply 1 coat of stain and then quickly run my graining tool through it until I get the look that I desire. I most definitely could have left this with the look that it was right there, but I wanted just to darken up the top a little bit more. I thought it would help me sell it. So I took the darker stain and wiped some on once the graining tool pattern was completely dry, and then just wiped it back when I got the look that I wanted. I sealed the tops of these nightstands with that Retique It epoxy top coat. Considering they're nightstands, I know that they're going to have lots of glasses and warm cups of coffee placed on the top of them, and this is just going to help ensure that they can stand up against heavy traffic. Fourth and final profit breakdown on these nightstands. I picked them up for $80 from the thrift store. Everything I used on them I already had on hand. I had 4 extra handles that just happened to match. I had a little bit of peel and stick wallpaper left over that I used in the top 2 drawers. I did not add these small things in, but if I wanted to, I could say maybe it was another $30 in purchase cost when I purchased these originally. These nightstands sold in less than 3 hours on Facebook Marketplace for $700, giving me a profit of $620. Not too bad for a 2-day flip. So what do you think? Are you inspired to try flipping furniture and see how much you can make? Let me know in the comments which piece is your favorite and if you've used Retique It before. A big thank you to Scentbird for sponsoring today's video, and be sure to click that link in the description to get 55% off your first month. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more furniture flipping tips and tricks. Let's keep turning those lemons into lemonade, one flip at a time. See you next time.